Very warm welcome to you, Swamiji.
Jai Guru, Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, Swamiji.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, Professor Khosla ji. Jai Guru for both of you. I see Atul also here. Jai Guru, Atul ji.
Jai Guru.
Yes, Swamiji, yes. We also have Ashish Khosla, I think he's
Jai Guruji.
Ashish is here, okay. Jai Guru.
And we have the team from Shulini University also. So, Swamiji, should we begin the program?
Yes, man.
A very warm welcome to all on behalf of Shulini University to this
Just pull the door forward. That's all.
very special occasion on the day of the birth anniversary of the Revered Gurudev, Paramhansa Yogananda ji, author of the autobiography of a yogi, acclaimed Jagat Guru, spiritual Guru. Today is his Avirbhav Divas or birth anniversary. It is a very special, joyous occasion for all of us to be together from different parts of the country, but still together in very warm feelings and reverence and devotion. Just to set the context, today, the chief guest, Swami Smaranananda ji, who is the Vice President of Yogananda Satsang Society of India, founded by Sri Sri Paramhansa Yogananda ji in 1917. Swamiji will be inaugurating 3 different facilities, programs, galleries. The first will be the inauguration of the Yogananda Center of Theology. And as you know, theology is a study of basically of God. And God in all his aspects, when applied to academics, we call it theology. Otherwise, we can call it spirituality. We can call it religion in various ways. But the very fact that a Yogananda Center of Theology is being inaugurated at Shulini University today is a very significant milestone, not only in the journey of Shulini University, which already has a world-class acclaimed Yogananda Resource Center and Library, but also follows many of the ideals and teachings of the great spiritual Guru, Paramhansa Yogananda ji. So it is a great landmark that on his birth anniversary, the Yogananda Center of Theology is being inaugurated. The second inauguration will be a special gallery, which is part of the Shulini University facility and campus now, where beautiful photographs of the great Guru and other Gurus of the same line, Mahavatar Babaji, Lehri Mahashe ji, Swami Sri Yukteswar ji, and Paramhansa Yogananda ji are placed and installed along with some captions and descriptions. So the inauguration of the gallery will also be done virtually by Swami Smaranananda ji. We will also have later a very special installation ceremony for a statue of the great Guru, Paramhansa Yogananda ji. And there we will have that statue installation in a hall, and we will have thereafter a meditation period led by Swami Smaranananda ji. The total program is about 1 hour, little more than 1 hour perhaps, not much more. And we will close after Swamiji has given his blessings and satsang. We will close by a vote of thanks and closing remarks by the Chancellor of Shulini University, Professor P.K. Khosla. And today we also have the Vice Chancellor of Shulini University, Atul Khosla, Professor Khosla. And we also have Mrs. Khosla, Professor P.K. Khosla ji's wife, also joined by Ashish Khosla ji, I believe, from the Middle East. Live, he is also there. And we have senior faculty members and senior as well as other staff of Shulini University. So a very special warm welcome to one and all. We are also joined, I believe, by a large number of viewers who are maybe students of Shulini, faculty of Shulini, and also devotees of Yogananda Satsang Society of India. and also, I believe, by senior monks of Yogoda Satsang Society of India, apart from Swami Smaranananda. It is a special pleasure to welcome Swami Smaranananda, who himself has been an academician. He has been a technologist. He is from IIT Kharagpur, and he is a PhD scholar and teacher. Before becoming a monk, he was teaching very high-end science and engineering, and he has also taught abroad. As a monastic of YSS, he has traveled all over India and many parts of the world, and he has also spoken at India and abroad to audiences. His talks are also available as part of the SRF YSS collection of CDs and audios and videos. Many of his talks and talks by other senior monks of YSS SRF are also available on YouTube. For listening to these talks and getting a sense of the teachings of Sri Sri Paramahansa Yogananda, it is possible to do so through these media. So by joining this ceremony, Swami Smaranananda has made it an even more special occasion. And Professor P.K. Khosla has been the driving force behind this initiative by Shulini University. He has been planning this for several months now. He has been discussing it with some of us, and we have been going into details of what is going to be the flow and the planning and the inauguration. And I must tell you that technology is enabling this inauguration through a very dedicated team at Shulini, as well as, I believe, a young team which is handling the tech part of it today. And this technology and its various avatars are very much a part of the Shulini culture and ethos. And very quickly, Shulini has adopted to the new era of depending a little more on being present virtually rather than being present actually. So we do hope to visit Shulini University and actually see the statue and other facilities very soon. Now it is time for me to request Swami Smaranananda for the inauguration, the formal inauguration of the Yogananda Center of Theology. And Swamiji, since he is sitting in Noida at the moment, will simply do a pranam gesture. By virtue of that pranam, we will consider the Center of Theology to be inaugurated. But before that, a small visual, just a brief visual of ribbon cutting is being displayed. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji. We will be going into more details of this later. And now it is time for us to request Swamiji for the inauguration of the gallery and the photo gallery, where again we will do a virtual inauguration, and Swamiji will inaugurate the gallery simply by doing pranam again. Yes. Here we go. Thank you very much, Swamiji, for that inauguration. And of both these facilities, we will now have a look at the gallery, a video, which is available of the gallery. We will view the gallery here online right now.
Paramhans Swami Yogananda, as a great spiritual yogi of the modern era, has shown the scientific method of yoga not only to India but to the entire world. Revered as the spiritual father of yoga in modern times, he has influenced millions of people across the world. Author of the well-known spiritual book, Autobiography of a Yogi, his teachings continue to inspire those in quest of spirituality. It was in the year 1946 that his book, Yogi Kathamrit, which is based on his spiritual life, was published. This book is one of the 100 best spiritual books of the 20th century. In its efforts to help spread his message, Solon-based Shulini University has established the Yogananda Center for Theology in its campus on the occasion of his 127th birth anniversary. As one of the preeminent spiritual figures of modern times, Paramhans Yogananda established Yogda Satsang Society of India in Ranchi and Self-Realization Fellowship in the United States of America. These organizations continue to carry on his spiritual legacy worldwide. His teachings on the science of Kriya Yoga meditation, the underlying unity of all true religions, the art of balanced health and well-being of body, mind and soul have benefited millions of people. Paramhans Yogananda was born on January 5, 1893 in Gorakhpur district of Uttar Pradesh in a Bengali Shastri family. His childhood name was Mukunlal Ghosh. He was the fourth among the 8 children of Sri Bhagwati Charan Ghosh and Srimati Gyan Prabha Ghosh. When his parents first took the young child to receive blessings at the feet of their Guru, Sri Lahadi Mahasaya, the Guru predicted that the young Mukunlal shall one day become a great yogi who, like a spiritual engine, will lead many souls to the kingdom of God. Right from his early childhood, he met several great sages of India in his quest to discover spiritual knowledge. His search for a spiritual master fructified when Yogananda met his mentor Swami Yukteswar Giri in 1910, who was himself a disciple of Lahadi Mahasaya. Swami Yukteswar Ji initiated Yogananda to Kriya Yoga. Along with the spiritual guidance of his mentor, Yogananda Ji graduated from Sri Rampur College, Calcutta University, which is presently called University of Kolkata. Just a few weeks after attaining graduation in 1915, with the blessings of Guru Swami Yukteswar Giri, he dedicated his life completely to God. Yogananda gave the gift of Kriya Yoga education to the world. Kriya Yoga is an ancient spiritual practice which has scientific basis. This is the reinforcement of the same scientific spiritual knowledge that Lord Krishna gave to Arjun centuries ago, and later to Patanjali and Christ, Saint John and other disciples. Yogananda returned to India in the year 1935-36, and during this time his Guru felicitated him with a higher degree of Paramhans. Yogananda met Mahatma Gandhi during his Bharat Brahman. Impressed by the spiritual personality of Yogananda, Gandhiji learned Kriya Yoga from him in the year 1935. Many famous personalities around the world have received spiritual guidance through his book Autobiography of a Yogi. One of the great modern day personalities, Steve Jobs, the chairman and the co-founder of Apple Incorporation, desired that a copy of a book be presented to all the mourners who would attend his memorial service. The book was dedicated by him to the Luther Burbank, whom he used to call as an American saint. Luther believed their music touched or talked to plants, and sending them the right sort of thoughts could encourage their development in the desired direction. Among the various books of Yogananda, Krishna Arjun Dialogue, God Talks with Arjun, is also one, through which he has brought the qualities of Gita to the common man. In the year 1930, Yogananda composed the Cosmic Chant, which is a collection of 50 beautiful spiritual songs. All the songs in this book are dedicated to God with devotion and love from the bottom of the heart. Applauding Einstein's efforts, Paramhans Yogananda writes in Autobiography of a Yogi that his theory was, in essence, an attempt to explain all creations as Maya, a delusion. Reducing the cosmical structure of variation on a single law, Einstein reaches across the ages to the rishis who proclaimed a soul texture of creation, that of a protean Maya. He wrote, on March 7, 1952, Swami Yogananda ji entered the Mahasamadhi, a great yogi's final conscious exit from the body. The great Guru of the world displayed yoga visits not only in life but also in death. Even after several weeks of his Mahasamadhi, his unchanged face was resplendent with a wonderful divine radiance. Yogananda's contribution to yoga and spirituality have been recognized by the nation and the world. Millions of his followers have found spiritual solace from his writings and teachings.
Thank you very much. It is now time for the inauguration, or rather the installation of the statue of the great Guru in the premises of Shulini University, in the beautiful building of the Resource Center. Here we have a group of Shulini faculty and staff who are present at the occasion, and on the physical site where the statue is being installed, we can actually see them now bringing the statue, gradually emerging from that corridor. If you see the video, you can see the statue being brought closer and closer, and Dr. Khosla and Mrs. Khosla are in the forefront of that procession. You can actually see now that they are nearing the venue, the site where the statue is to be installed. Very piously, very reverently, with great devotion. And Khosla Sahab, Mrs. Khosla, who I believe both are past the age of 80, walking at a brisk pace, carrying the statue, and now it has reached the platform where it is going to be formally installed. Swami Smaranananda is present with us here, and his blessings, the Guru's blessings through Swamiji are reaching us all, I'm sure. We see the statue now. We hope to get a closer view. Khosla Saab and Mrs. Khosla are there, and they're the team of Shulini. And there is the statue in the center of the visual of Sri Sri Paramhansa Yogananda, world-renowned Guru, Jagat Guru, a true Guru. Very special occasion, a very touching moment, very devotional moment for all devotees of SRF, YSS, and all those who follow the Kriya Yoga path. You can see the statue there and team bowing before the statue, garlands being placed on the statue. That is the formal statue installation ceremony, and Swami Smaranananda is pranaming and giving his reverential wishes on the occasion to the Guru. As are all of us, I think all of us, hundreds of people who are watching this are also feeling the same, and the special moment, especially on the day of the great Guru's birth anniversary or Avir Bhav Divas, this is a really special feeling. Thank you very much for that inauguration ceremony, installation ceremony of the statue, and I am sure that lots of devotees and people from all across will come and view and seek the blessings of the great Guru at this site where the statue is present. Thank you very much for that. And now we will pass on the baton to Swami Smaranananda himself, and Swamiji would lead a short period of meditation and also give his blessings and his sandesh, his satsang. Over to you, Swami Smaranananda.
Love and greetings to each one of you. Also, a very happy New Year. What do I say? I am overwhelmed, really. Respected and dear Professor Khosla, Mother Sarojma, Vice Chancellor Atul Khosla, Ashish Khosla, Vivek ji, and the staff and students of Shulini, and the devotees and admirers of Paramhansa Yogananda ji. Please receive my heartfelt pranams. You know, Corona has brought in various challenges to people all over the world. Even I was affected in many ways. But one thing I was thinking was that because of Corona, I had more time for study, more time for meditation, more time for rest, and more time for exercise like that. I could take advantage of it. And today, I really feel sad. And probably for the first time, I'm cursing Corona. You know why? For not being there in person at Shulini. Otherwise, I wasn't so much unhappy with Corona. I know the challenge is posing, it's affecting me also personally in many ways. But today, really, I'm very unhappy with Corona. Otherwise, I would have been there. So at least I hope that Very soon the restrictions will be removed and I can be there with you all in person with Shulini family. I'm very happy to see that a center for theology has been established at Shulini, more so in the name of Paramhans Yoganandaji. Paramhans Yoganandaji is a preeminent exponent of theology. Let us not think that theology is something with which we are not really connected. Theology is very much a part of every human being, irrespective of one's outward mode of existence. We may not realize it. Now, the search for truth has always been a very respectable and important facet of Indian culture down the centuries, nay, millenniums. Yugas come and go, but the search for truth goes on. Civilizations come and go. Cultures change. Now the way we communicate, food habits, entertainment, interactions, they keep changing. But the search for truth continues. Either in higher yugas like Satya Yuga or dark ages like Kali Yuga, there are people among us who are very serious about that search for truth. And that is theology. That is theology. Now, I would like to quote Douglas Grant Duff Ainsel, a very famous British writer, who gave a preface to Paramhans Yoganandaji's book, The Science of Religion. It was almost a century ago, 1927. He wrote, "The Hindus have revealed to the whole world the truth. And this is only natural. When we consider that more than 5,000 years ago, while the forefathers of Britain and Gaul, Greek and Latin, were roaming the vast forests in search of food, the Hindu was already engaged in pondering the mystery of life and death, which now we know to be one." I mean, stop a minute and contemplate. This is a statement made by a Britisher. 5,000 years ago, when our Western brothers are roaming the forest in search of food for survival of life, here in India, the people were contemplating a mystery of life. I mean, that is the tradition we have. That is the lineage. He continues, Douglas Ainsel, Paramhans Yoganandaji's teaching is not speculative, but practical. Real Hinduism penetrated the veil of Maya and possesses the knowledge which is not merely philosophical, that is wisdom loving, but wisdom itself. Not the discussions, but experience. I mean, that is the beauty of Paramhans Yoganandaji's teachings. And I am sure in this Center for Theology, you will also give enough importance to that experience, not the discussions, not just mere love for knowledge. The knowledge itself and experience is the key word. I'll come to that a little later. Now, our ancient rishis are real spiritual scientists. By experimenting over centuries, not over years and decades, by experimenting over centuries, our rishis found out one fundamental truth. That is, the mind and breath are interrelated. See, we all want to have mind control. Everyone want to have that calmness, mind control. But oftentimes it's not under our control. It's very difficult to control the mind directly. But our rishis found a way by controlling the breath. By doing something with the breath, mind can come under control. That is why we have so many pranayama techniques, which are, many of them are related to breath in order to gain the control of mind. That is the first step to realize that, to go within and realize that oneness with divinity within, mind control. I would like to quote James Lynn, a very successful American business magnate. He said, India, in the person of one of our great masters, Paramhans Yogananda ji, has brought to us this priceless knowledge of soul realization. How grateful we should be to a people whose greatest men down the centuries have given their lives, have renounced everything else in order to explore the divine potentialities in man. What India has given us today in Paramhansaji's teachings is worth more to us than anything we could give to India in exchange. Today, the Western man is in dire need of a spiritual technique for developing his real resources, soul resources. That technique is Kriya Yoga, an ancient science brought to us for the first time by a master from India. Out of deep, deep gratitude, after having gained that inner realization offered by Kriya Yoga, he uttered these words as a tribute, more as a sense of gratitude. Although James Lynn is talking about the need for such a yoga technique for the West, in reality, we too need it. Even Indians, we also need that. In fact, we have not really explored the inner potentials that are there within each one of us. I am glad to see that even in this 21st century, here is a university, Shulin University, we recognize the need for such studies and coming up with this Yogananda Center for Theology. I am very happy, I am grateful to you for thinking about this. As I mentioned earlier, experience. That is the key. It's not theory, it's experience. God realization or self-realization or peace of mind, that divine love inside, perfect joy, unconditional bliss, all these things must be in experience, not theory to talk about. One should experience within. Well, we'll know after practicing yoga that it is not in doing, but in being we experience the divinity within. It is not in action, but in awareness we perceive the truth, the ultimate truth. And for that we need something like a yoga technique like Kriya Yoga, given by Paramhans Yogananda ji. Now, a technique like Kriya Yoga, which is the highest practice of religion, is not limited only to a fortunate few, those who live in Himalayas or in ashrams or forests. Today, the techniques like Kriya Yoga are available to common man at his doorstep, thanks to generosity of so many gurus. They masters, they make them available to us. Yoga, which is an important aspect of study in any theology, means union of this little self with spirit, higher self, spirit. That always results in deep joy, bliss. That is known. When you reach the goal, it's full of bliss. But what is more important, more reassuring is not only the goal, but the pathway to goal, the practice of yoga gives us that deep joy. Even the path is filled with joy. That's a reassurance. Paramahansa Yogananda said in his book, The Science of Religion, far more blissful than the greatest enjoyment that any of our senses or the mind can ever afford us. I do not wish to give you any other proof of its truth than is afforded by his own experience. So one's own experience after practicing this yoga, Kriya Yoga, gives that proof of the existence of inner joy, which is an aspect of God. And for me, in this life, that conviction of the existence of inner joy and the possibility of contacting that joy on a regular basis is a revelation. Thanks to Kriya Yoga meditation. And talking about contribution of India to not only theology, to various aspects of life, science, arts, I would like to quote a couple of great men of West. Here is Romain Rolland, Nobel laureate and French philosopher. He said, if there is one place on the face of this earth where all the dreams of living men have found a home from the very earliest days when the man began the dream of existence, it is India. Now, people dream of knowing truth, having that self-realization. That is here. In India, it can be found. Or people dream of great, lofty things. They were there in India. They are there in India. Max Muller, German philologist and Orientalist, he said, whatever sphere of human mind you may select for your special study, whether it be language, or religion, or mythology, or philosophy, whether it be laws or customs, primitive art or primitive science, everywhere you have to go to India, whether you like it or not, because some of the most valuable and most instructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India, and in India only. That was by Max Muller. And here is another aspect completely. People are talking about avoiding catastrophes. Here is Dr. Arnold Toynbee, British historian. He said, it is already becoming clearer that a chapter which has a Western beginning will have to have an Indian ending if it is not to end in the self-destruction of human race. At this supremely dangerous moment in history, the only way of salvation for mankind is the Indian way. And by choosing to start a center for theology in India, you have done a very, very great service to humanity. I expect so much will come out of this center. Not many universities, especially private universities, will think of such things. James Grant Duff, Scottish historian, he said, many of the advances in the sciences that we consider today to have been made in Europe were in fact made in India centuries ago. And Einstein, Nobel laureate, of course we know, he said, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. I sincerely wish and pray that one day in not so distant future, people will talk. We are grateful to Shulini for thinking of an initiative like this, a center for theology. So I pray for its success in all spheres. Success of Center for Theology means service to humanity. So that's going to happen. With these words, I would like to close my address. And if there is no other program scheduled right away, we can start having some guided meditation. I leave it to the anchor, Mr. Vivek Atre, to decide and guide me.
Yes, Swamiji, we will kindly go for a meditation now. Khosla Sahab and the others are seated for this meditation, and we have about 10 to 15 minutes where you may like to just lead us in a meditation.
Okay. I will not explain why part, but I'll just explain how part meditation. First, let's take a posture most conducive for meditation. There are two important things. Spine has to be straight and eyes closed and looking at the point between the eyebrows. Eyes should be always up, look up, preferably at the point between the eyebrows. Eyes upwards, spine straight. This is very important for success in meditation. And you keep checking it every few minutes if required, mentally. Spine straight, gaze upwards. And now, let's take a deep breath through the nose. Tense the whole body, making fists. Almost body is shaking. Tense the whole body. And exhale through the mouth in a double breathing. Once again, deep breath. Tense the whole body. Make fists. Exhale. Third time, deep breath. Tense the whole body. Exhale through the mouth. Now, look at Kutastha, gaze upwards. Take slowly breath through the nose. I will guide you. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale through the mouth slowly. Inhale through the nose. hold, exhale through the mouth slowly, inhale through the nose, hold, exhale through the mouth slowly, inhale through the mouth, through the nose, hold the breath, exhale through the mouth, now watch the flow of air. Air is going into your body, air is going out of your body. Don't control it anyway. As if you are watching the breathing of a child sleeping on a cot. Air is going into your body, air is coming out of your body. Just watch. Don't control it anyway. If you can't observe, catch the breath near the nose, observe your own stomach. Stomach goes forward and backward. Just observe that. When stomach is going forward, air is going in. When stomach is going back, air is coming out. Mentally check your posture, spine straight, gaze upwards. Mind is just watching the breath. Air is going in, air is coming out. You are not breathing. Air is going into the body, air is coming out of the body. You have no role except watching. Spine straight, gaze upwards. Air is going into my body, air is coming out of my body. Mentally check, spine straight, gaze upwards. Air is going into the body, air is coming out of the body. Now take a breath through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Hold the breath. Look at Kutastha, the point between the two eyebrows. Stay as long as you can without breath. Just enjoy the peace. When you need breath, take again breath through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Look at Kutastha. Hold the breath. Enjoy the peace. Once again, take the breath. Exhale through the mouth. Look at Kutastha. Hold the breath as long as you can. Now forget about the breath. Let the breath go as it on its own as required by the body. Look at Kutastha, the point between two eyebrows, and feel the peace. There is peace at the point between the eyebrows. Enjoy that. And that peace increases, expands, not only between the eyebrows, the entire head. There is peace. That peace is spreading through the entire body. That peace is going beyond the body to the surroundings also. You are at the center of that peace. Peace is spreading everywhere, all around you. If you wish, you may visualize your Ishtadaiva at the point between the eyebrows, looking into any form of God or Guru, or simply light, joy. With the peace inside, let's close this meditation session. Just a brief session. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This is just a glimpse. The actual meditation techniques have to be learned more systematically. There are various techniques. Those who are interested can contact us. Now, I give the control back to the moderator, anchor, Mr. Vivekatri. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. That was a very special meditation. Very deep peace was felt by all of us, I'm sure. And also your words about Guruji and Shulini University taking the lead in this very wonderful initiative. Very inspiring session, ceremony, but not yet quite over. We have Professor P.K. Khosla to give the closing remarks. And while he gets ready, I'll just quote Paramahansa Yogananda ji by saying that all of us who are maybe hearing about meditation for the first time or have felt the peace for the very first time, Paramahansa Yogananda ji said, everything else can wait, but your search for God cannot wait. So if you are a newcomer to meditation and you're watching this ceremony, find your path, start meditating. All of us started at some point or the other, whenever we felt the urge and the need, including the monks, the Swamijis, they also felt that need and they started meditating. This path of Paramahansa Yogananda ji, I will type out the website for those who are on Zoom. They can follow the techniques from here. Another quote of Paramahansa Yogananda ji is, carry a portable paradise with you wherever you go. And he also says, be calmly active and actively calm. These are some of my favorite quotes from Paramahansa Yogananda ji. And all these are possible if we are practicing meditation. That is the only way to actually follow these ideals. We have now Professor P.K. Khosla, who will give the closing remarks. I just want to acknowledge the presence once again before he speaks of Professor Khosla himself, of course, the Chancellor of Shulni University, who's taken this initiative and this wonderful triple ceremony that we had today, the Center of Theology, the gallery, and the statue installation, followed by the meditation. And Mrs. Professor Saroj Khosla, who is also present in the meditation hall near the statue. We also have the Pro-Chancellor, Vishal Anandji, who's also there. We have Professor Atul Khosla, the Vice-Chancellor, who's here from another location today. And we have Mr. Ashish Khosla as well. And we have the team and staff of Shulini who've done a wonderful job, led by Mr. Kamal Kant, who's there also. Over to you, Professor Khosla, the Chancellor of Shulni University, for the closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Vivek. Swami Smaranananda, Vivek Atre, Vice Chancellor Atul Khosla, Ashish Khosla, Madam Khosla, our Pro Chancellor Vishal Anand, Dr. Puri, Kamal Kant, and many more dear colleagues who have contributed to make this function a success. I started this program plan while I was the Vice Chancellor. During this period, the change came and I became the Chancellor and Atul joined as the Vice Chancellor. I think I will be now more free. It is the divine drama. God wants me to dedicate my time to such activities where I can blend education with spirituality. When this building of the library was being renamed as Yogananda Library, when I came to the 4th floor, the idea came to me, not of the Theology Center, but then I thought, oh, there should be religious books on all religions. And we started collecting, not very seriously, but when the idea of plan of making a photo gallery on Yogananda and the statue was in our hands, it was lying in my room, and we thought of what to do. So we then the 4th level of the library came to our rescue. We thought, let us keep the statue here in the library at the top floor and also start the Center of Theology. We have students, teachers, or even we may start a, I would say, certificate course on theology as well as teaching concerned. I have in my mind that in the university there should be a center of ancient Indian wisdom. Everybody today talks about the University of Nalanda and Takshila, where multidisciplinary education was given with the thought or the background of the Indian spirituality and other things. So at Shulni University, we are thinking in that direction that I, being a disciple of Yogananda, I never, till the age of 52, I was not knowing about spirituality, not knowing about meditation, nothing of the sort, because I was brought up in a Arya Samaj family, Havan or other things which were done ritually. But my mother never taught me, or nor I think she may not be knowing about meditation herself. But when I look at her pictures with a closed eyes, I always found, now I start realizing she must be meditating, though she didn't give to her children. She never talked about the meditation. It was only at the age of 52 when I read the book, Autobiography Yogi, which was given to my 2 sons, first to the elder one, Ashish, and then to the younger one, Atul, as an award for standing first in the 12th class, or then it was in the colleges in Himachal Pradesh. My first impression was not very happy. What type of the book is given? It should have been a science book. But one day I read it, and I thought, oh my God, I wasted 32 years of my life. I should have got this book at the age of 20. So that is my impression, that there is beyond your material life. There is beyond the duty you are doing. That is, you have to do something for your own self. The own self is your own body. I call it is a laboratory where you can change. I call the physical lab is made of instruments, other things. God has given us this body with the plexuses, which in our spiritual language we call as the chakras. So our rishis, concentrating on all these things, had come out with the inner knowledge and written so much. More and more I get older in life, I find that we have not given the justice to our own culture. Maybe it was the God's desire that we were under the foreign rule for 800 to years, firstly by the Islamic invasions and then by the British Empire. This is the time because this year the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, have given a calendar where there are 12 pictures of 12 foreign great persons, scientists, and the scholars taking the quotations from the Indian wisdom. So people talk about Indian wisdom through the foreigners, but when we in Indian, the Indians talk, the Western educated people say that we are too much religious minded. Well, that is the approach. I think maybe in Shunni University it is the beginning. I'm thankful to Swamiji that he has taken spare time to be with us. And the statue installation, as you are just now seeing in the picture also, so it will be giving, because this floor we are keeping it open. Only condition is students have to put off their shoes. The students can sit there, make their own notes, study, whatever they want. It is open to all. Because we do not want it as a, my colleagues were asking me what type of the arrangement you want. I said, I want an open arrangement where anybody can come, anybody can visit, or anybody can be interested to know more about Yogananda. There will be books. There will be the Yogananda present himself in the form of a statue, blessing the students and the teachers and the visitors. So this is my dream. And whatever life I have, I think I have the blessings of Yogananda, and it energizes me. It gives me strength, both in terms of physical fitness, mental thoughts, and I would like most of the students, if it can be benefit to the students, that it should become a part of everybody's human life. Because somebody has to ask me what I have gained through this, I always think, oh God, make me my day. Today is better than yesterday. My tomorrow should be better than today. That if we all start thinking, there will be harmony, peace, and love. Thank you very much, everybody, that you have all come. And this program today, sir, we had two functions. Two great persons, one legendary who gave us food, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. We had a gallery and similar type of the function with the Dr. R.S. Puroda, the former Director General of ICR, was there. And we had named our agriculture school as the M.S. Swaminathan School of Agriculture. And there was similar a video there of the gallery which we had made. And now in the this time, we are having a similar program on spirituality from the school of Yogananda, Center of Theology on Yogananda. So I will call it on one hand is our material life, our food necessity, and the second, on the other side, it is our spirituality which will give us peace, happiness, and bliss. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Professor Khosla, for those words. I would like to pay a special word of thanks to Swami Smaranananda for joining us, for inaugurating all the facilities and the statue. Swamiji, thank you very much for joining. And it is a real blessing for all of us to be here today with you on this occasion of Guruji's birth anniversary. Thank you all, everybody who has joined. Thanks a lot once again. Jai Guru.